So again I am here to continue the topic of force. So yesterday we have discussed two of the contact forces, that is muscular force and frictional force. Today we will discuss other two contact forces. So the other contact force is normal force. So first we will try to understand the meaning of normal, and you already know the meaning of force. So force which is changes the position of the object. So what is normal? The word normal indicates the direction. The direction which is perpendicular to the surface. Now if you take this line as a surface of any object, this line which is perpendicular to this surface, this direction is called as normal. So the word normal force means the force which is acting in the direction, or the force which is normal to the surface is called as a normal force. So to understand the word normal force, now I will just do a small activity. Now I have taken this book. Okay, I will just leave the book. Just observe. What happened? The book, it has fallen on the ground. Why did it fall on the ground? Because of the gravitational pull. That means the earth is pulling this book, so that the book has fallen on the ground. Now I will throw the same book. See, observe. Did the book fall on the ground? No. Is gravitational force not acting on this book? Yes, gravitational force is acting on the book. But in the first situation, we have seen that the book has fallen on the ground. But here in this situation, instead of book falling on the ground, though the gravitational force is acting on the book has fallen on the table instead of falling on the ground. What is the reason? Here, when the book has come in contact with the table, what happened? This book, when it touched the table, this table has developed the force. That means in between this table and the book, the force is developed or produced, which is acting normal to the surface of the page. Okay, did you understand? This book, this table has developed the force, in between the book and the table, the force which is developed is acting perpendicular to the surface of this table. So this force is called as normal force, which is not making the book to fall on the ground. Because the gravitational pull is pulling the book down, the normal force is pushing the book up in the upward direction. As these two forces are acting equal, the book is at rest on the table. So once again I will repeat the definition of normal force. The force which is acting between this book and the surface of the table, which is acting normal to the surface of the table, which is acting perpendicular to the surface of the table. In which direction? In the direction opposite to the gravitational force. That means gravitational force is acting downwards, normal force is acting in the upward direction. As these two forces are equal, the book is at rest position on the table. So this is normal force and is a kind of contact force, because book and the surface of the table are both in touch with each other. Okay, now we will go to another force. To explain the other force, I will take one stand where I have suspended one of the stone. Now, this is another stone. Here, I will do the same process. I will just leave this stone on the ground. See, what did we observe? The stone directly it fell on the ground because of the gravitational force, because the earth is pulling the stone in the downward direction. So the stone directly fell on the ground. Now in case of this Why the stone is not falling down? Here the gravitational force is acting on the stone, but also this stone is not falling down, where in the previous case the stone easily fell onto the ground. Here clearly we can see this stone is tied to this thread and is suspended to the stand. That means here what is stopping this stone for not falling on the ground? This thread. That means first class we have learned any object to stop or to rest force is required. This stone is at rest position because some force is acting on this stone. Where is that force coming from? The force is in this string which is tied to the stone. The gravitational force is pulling this stone to fall down, but the force which is present in this string is stopping this stone for not to fall down. Okay, that force which is acting in this string, it is called as tension. The force that is acting opposite to the gravitational force along the string, this force is called as tension force. And why is it a contact force? Because again here you can see the stone and the string both are in contact with each other. So once we see the definition, force which pulls the object along the string against the gravity is called as a tension or tensional force. So the force which is present in this string which is holding this stone to not to fall down because of the gravitational force, this force is called as tension or tension force. So we will continue the non-contact forces tomorrow.